there, my name is Mia and I am a researcher under Professor Lovegood from Heart's Laboratory. And this year we decided to find out if love exists and what it does to our brains. So we first conducted a study and found out that 68% of women and 53% of men still believe in love. And then our friends at Harvard helped us understand what love exactly does to our brains. And at first, a chemical called dopamine is released in our brain when we look at someone we find attractive. That is accompanied by the stress hormone cortisol that is released in the early days of dating, and that follows a drop in serotonin, which causes us to get infatuated and obsessed. And we also found out that oh, okay, that was a lot for my tiny brain and something straight out of my favorite anime. Science fell in love, so I tried to prove it, which you should probably watch if you haven't already. But coming back to the topic, today we are discovering the colorful world of love. And I want to start by answering the question, do you believe in love? With one of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite books, the sun is also a star. The main lead tells the very pragmatic female lead that love isn't a religion and it exists whether we believe in it or not. And that is exactly how I feel about dating. Good people that believe do exist despite the mishaps that we keep hearing about. I personally believe that love is an active process of choosing someone despite all the difficulties life throws at you. I also believe in God and in His command, in which He tells us to love each other as we love Him, and that truly does change our perspective on love. It is not something involuntary, but rather something that we can and must choose to do. And I know with today's dating culture being rooted in and bearing the flags of situationships, love bombing, ghosting, and selfishly looking only at monetary gain, which legally isn't wrong, but morally, I don't know. I just wish more people were just comfortable talking to each other normally. I feel like dating apps trap people in a box in which you have to be a certain type to be liked by everyone, sort of like me making this video trying to make it land on your algorithm. I also do believe a lot in growth and growing in love, and not just with someone but by yourself. And I found this really beautiful quote on Pinterest about it. Here's how it goes. But you need to stop thinking of love as a cure to all your ills, because if love was served to you on a silver platter right now, you'd run it to the ground. So learn about yourself first. Take yourself out on dates, talk to strangers just cause. Learn to bake and buy yourself flowers, so when you get them from someone you love, you will know how it feels and actually appreciate them. We need to stop being people versus people and rather be people versus the problems that we face in everyday life or even in the dating scene. And that comes with gaining knowledge about the world and being open to all sorts of opinions. And I also know about the self-help influencers and their current trending advice on just using a partner to get money, and the men versus women agenda that keeps being pushed, and how everybody is just trying to one up each other on who has it worse. But the more you let that opinions run you, the less you will believe in love in turn. Now, I don't mean to disregard everything and just go with the flow, but rather pick your values and things that you will need in someone in the long term. And rather than make a checklist of it and make sure that that person fits every bill, you need to make sure the absence of which of those traits will bother you the most in life. And I am being extremely open here and I'm telling you that do not date a serial cheater, a pathological liar, a catfisher, the one who's been with everyone, and anyone with any type of issues like abandonment, mommy, daddy. I know these are things you can't see on the first glance, but I just feel like you guys, when you see it, you don't close your eyes and you actually react on it before you get yourself into worse situations. I also wanted to talk about liking someone versus loving them. And I'm sure you have a list too of when you like someone, what qualities of them you like, and I want to tell you what loving someone is. So, liking is if that person has, say, money, or they have looks, or they have a great personality, or they are just gentle with you. You like those things about them. But love is even if there is an absence of any of those traits, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's always good, but if there is an absence of any of one of those traits, like suppose they don't have money or they don't have looks, it still doesn't bother you. Like, you would still be with them despite of those circumstances. And for me, that is majorly the difference between love and like. Okay, so I had a few more things to add, but before that, can you see my heart earrings? Aren't they the cutest thing? So I just wanted to say that most art was created when someone fell in love or fell out of it. And even though I don't believe in the red stain theory or that you're bound to be with one person, I do believe in soul ties and that we are not meant to be in endless cycles of heartbreaks. So I just wanted to tell you all to be a little bit more picky with who you choose. Especially for all my girlies out there, you're going to have to navigate your entire life with your partner, and it's probably the only relationship that you get to choose. You're going to be with them through the death of your loved ones, losing or gaining children, and even raising them and nursing them through sickness. And I've seen people regret these things a lot, but it's usually too late for it. And be sure of the future that you will want to show your kids. Because even for yourself, when you buy a thing, you don't go for something you know is going to be short term. You always go for the good quality long term things, right? The concept of some people are just in your life to teach you lessons, and yeah, I mean, don't go trying everyone just to get those lessons, but study every time you have a breakup, or I mean, when you have breaks in your relationship, things that make you feel a bit down, please just sit quietly, meditate, and reflect. Write down what you found missing in that partner, what you found missing in yourself, what you found missing in that relationship, so you know going forward that those are the things that need to be first prioritized and fixed. I think that love shows up, just not in ways that we expect it to. So, whether love exists or not, I guess we'll only know if we still care. Okay, with that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Please like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this. Bye bye.